everyone, it's Dark07. Today we are playing Boros Winota or Boros Energy. So this is basically the normal energy deck. We play all the stuff we usually play in energy, but we have Winota. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but actually Boros Energy supports Winota very well. A lot of humans, and the good thing is that top end cards are humans. So Seasoned Pyromancer, Ranger, Captain of Eos. Gyro Souls is a 1 mana human, but it's like it's really important for the deck, and it's great to hit it with Winota ability. But also now we have Voice of Victory. This is a human that says it has mobilized too. It can create created tokens, which works great with Ocelot Pride and Gyro Souls. But the important thing about this guy is this line of text: your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. And this makes Winota version incredibly more stronger than it was before. So now we have a ranger, 2 rangers in the main and 3 Voice of Victory in the main. That is 5 ways to prevent your opponent from interacting on the turn you play Winota. And you know that turn you play Winota is usually the turn when you overwhelm your opponent with board advantage, and with Goblin Bombardment in the deck it can also sometimes be the turn you kill your opponent. And don't let me mention like Seasoned Pyromancer triggers Ranger, Captain of Eos, then sacking it on their upkeep, stuff like that. Lot of good stuff for you can happen when Winota attacks, and you have now these 5 cards enabling you to do that. So you untap with Voice of Victory, and that is such a strong thing to do in a Winota deck. So now you are free to cast your Winota deck, Winota and attack. So they can't Unholy Heat it in response, or Solitude it in response, or whatever. You untap with Voice of Victory and you are safe, and that is why this card is so important. Okay, so Ranger, Captain of Eos does the similar thing, but you have to sack it before, and it only works against non-creature removal. But a lot of times it does basically the same thing as Voice of Victory. Okay, so 5 ways here to protect your Winota on your, let's say, combo turn. And other than that, it's a classic energy deck. We have Ragavans, Discharge, Static Prison, Pride, Guide, Bombardment, Ajani, Flage, all the regular stuff. But of course we have Seasoned Pyromancer here because it's a human. It's our best human to hit with Winota. Always great to have it. Also Spyro works well with Goblin Bombardment, and Goblin Bombardment works great against main Spyro Nemesis, which is Orcish Bowmaster. And usually Voice of Victory also is such an important piece in this deck because it also lets you cast Pyromancer on your turn without fear they can like Bowmaster in response, something like that, which makes Pyromancer much better than usually is. So all in all, Voice of Victory really connects this deck well. And I'm even like I was even thinking of playing 4 cards, but didn't know what to cut. Everything is like really strong in a deck. All cards are really good. You can maybe cut like Ragavans, but Ragavan is also all-time high at the moment. Great against combo, great against Eldrazi, and great against some other decks as well. So I'm not very liking the Ragavan cut, and everything else is great as well, so it's kind of a tight fit, but I like this build at the moment the most. In the sideboard, so I initially had Aethersworn Canonist because it's a human, works well with Winota. It's good against combo decks, of course, but then I played against some combo decks and they were pyroclasing me a lot and Brotherhood's ending me, so the Canonist would kind of just die together with the Guide and Ocelot, and it felt like a casual victim and it didn't feel good against all the pyroclasms, so I replaced it with damping spheres. So I have a lot of, we end up having a lot of land hate, so blood moons plus charmal plus damping sphere. So by adding damping sphere now we can maybe cut one charma or even two, or something else like that, so to make place for something else you need in the sideboard. I really like static prisons lately, that's why I have 2 in the main, 2 in the side. Traben Charm is a cool piece which kills enchantments, can kill a creature, can also be a graveyard hate. I have it here because I don't actually have another graveyard hate piece at the moment, just the charms. And one Wrath of the Skies, mostly against Opal decks and mostly against mirrors. And that's it, moons, Verters, regular stuff. Okay, so we can go to the gameplay, see how it went. Before that, let me remind you of my dictionary profile. Link is down below in the video description. All 7 current guides in the medium tier subscription plan. And we have in the guide tier recently done new large articles with a lot of thoughts on Zoo. These 2 are the main ones. This is like the second part of this one that was done a few months ago, last year, not a few months ago, but last year. And there is now new article in the guide tier for Zoo as well. Okay, so we can now go to the gameplay, see how it went. Unfortunately, I only have 2 matches record with this build. Just completely forgot to record at the beginning of the league. So here we played against Hammer Time. Didn't play against Hammer Time for a long time. And okay, opponent starts with Hammer plus a couple of Mem Knights. They go Urza Saga into Stoneforge. So now I decide to go to cast both of my creatures with Arena of Glory. I'm not really wasting mana for Winota, because I will get that mana back immediately with Ragavan ability. So if I draw a land, I will still be able to cast Winota next turn. Okay, so I have 7. I accidentally attacked with both guides here. It was absolutely unnecessary to attack with both guides. I wanted to attack with a single guide. Now I'm letting my opponent kill my guide for free. It was just completely accidental. It didn't end up mattering much. Okay, so I kill their Mem Knight at least and pass the turn. They're now on 13 and I gain a lot of life on 27. I can probably, if I don't draw a land, I can probably flip my Ajani next turn, which is also pretty good play. Opponent after a long time passes the turn just playing a plains, and I didn't draw a land, but I did draw Static Prison. So I use this situation to cast my second Ajani, flip Ajani, and now I can attack with flyers again and do a lot of damage with Ajani ability, and also maybe try to take their crucial spell here with Static Prison. Okay, there goes 5 damage face, and I have enough enough energy to make my last creature a flyer and go in for lethal damage on this turn. But actually my opponent has a Ganjo. I did not expect a Ganjo here. It's a cool piece which let my opponent survive on 1. But they probably won't be able to survive next turn, because it's unlikely they can kill me here. Very unlikely, extremely unlikely, because I'm on 30 life. And my opponent goes for, they go for a Mem Knight here, attach all equipments to it, gain a lot of life. Okay, but now it's a Winota turn, and I'm looking for humans, and so I'm graveyarding this, going for a hasty Winota, triggering my Gyro Souls as well. And now I go for attack with for a lot of damage. Let's see what I can hit with Winota here. So in this situation, you have to stack correctly. So Guide of Souls ability goes first and the last on the stack. So you'll get energy before the guide triggers, and you will be able to activate it and give flying to something. Okay. So I want to give flying to my biggest creature here and go for lethal. So I go flying on Winota. It's a 6/6 flyer, have a lot of damage. 13 is flying. My opponent only has a single blocker. So this is enough for lethal damage here. And I get the win over Hammer Time. Okay, so a lot of good sideboard cards here. Wrath of the Skies, Wear Tears, Static Prison all seem pretty strong. I don't need voices that much because they don't play basically any removal. Okay, so I cut my voices, I cut the Raga ones, and I leave one Flage in. Flage is good. Flage is not bad, a bit slow, but other cards are just really good. So I'm thinking between second Flage and fourth Winota, end up cutting second Flage, and that's it. Okay, I go for a mulligan here. What was this? Okay, so never mind. Okay, let's go for turn 1, Static Prison, turn 2, Ocelot Pride and Static Prison. Have 4 energy here. Take their portable hole, get my Guide of Souls back, and now I'm putting counters on Ocelot Pride and killing their Urza Saga. They make a construct, but I have a Static Prison to take care of that, and I'm making more tokens with my Ocelot Pride here. Opponent 0 cards in hand, just attacking me with Lava Spore Boots on Inkmoth Nexus. Okay, so I play Ajani, trigger Guide of Souls again. I can make give flying to another creature here, and I will be triggering Ocelot Pride again. A lot of permanents on the field. I get the City Blessing, make a lot of copies of Cats, and I have lethal on the next turn. My opponent, this was a 2-0, and unfortunately after that I forgot to record other matches. Sorry for that. Okay, sorry, this was I'm lying. This was actually just the first match. I think we have another. Sorry. Yeah, we have another. Okay, so this was match against Hammer Time for 2-0, and this was then I think match number 3. I did not again start from the beginning, but it's fairly early. Okay, so it's fairly early. I just played the Ocelot Pride and opponent Bowmaster, then I went for Ranger Captain, and here I go. Guide of Souls, then Flage, kill something from their side of the field, either Tamio or Bowmaster. Yeah, I think it's better for me to go for Tamio here. In response, they kill my Guide of Souls. That's fine. My hand is pretty good. 2 removals and Winota, but I need more creatures. I need more creatures that trigger Winota first. There's also Flage in the yard, which is a very important piece, of course. Okay, so they play Frog last turn, so I definitely want to try to take it with Static Prison. They use Force of Negation, but that means I can now just Galvanic Discharge it, which is actually even better for me. And I also get to play my Ocelot Pride, attack for 3, and I have Flage in the yard with enough cards to escape it with Arena of Glory next turn. Seems a terrible situation for my opponent. But they go Murktide. They go for Murktide, and they have now 0 cards in hand. And if I want to attack with Ocelot Pride, I will only get 1 trigger here. Voice of Victory is really not bad here, but I think I can maybe have even better options here. So since I can't kill Murktide with Flage here, I decide just to go for a Flage and escape, kill the Bowmaster, resolve the Flage. Next turn I can attack again, play Winota, and then I will have more. I will triggering the Ocelot Pride here, which helps with my Winota triggers. This means next turn I will have 3 triggers for Winota. So if they don't draw a counter here, they are in a pretty bad situation. Okay, I go for a Surveil again. Before attacks, I graveyard the Ajani, sack the Ranger Captain of Eos. They can't counter it, they can't kill it. That is why I said it's so good to have Winota, have these creatures with Winota like Voice of Victory and Ranger. And now I'm attacking with 3 Winota triggers, and this is just ending. This is just game ending, and the opponent can block one of my creatures. It won't be Winota because now it will have Indestructible. And now I go for find a Guide of Souls as a second creature, and then a last creature is Seasoned Pyromancer. Perfect. So gaining more life, drawing 3, and my Winota gains Indestructible. This can't be better than this. So opponent can actually survive this turn just by blocking my Flage, but they survive on 1, and it's pretty hopeless for them. Unfortunately, my draws were 2 lands, but that's okay. So more Guide of Soul triggers, more tokens. There's just nothing my opponent can find in this situation, and yeah, that is the game. Okay, so I had, as I said, I had Canonist here instead of Damping Sphere. Did not like Canonist. Definitely for replacing it with something else. If not Damping Sphere, then something else, but really did not like the Canonist there. Okay, so my opponent starts with Nihil Spellbomb. I go for Ocelot Pride, and probably expecting Bowmaster, but I can't, you can't really... Okay, I play then second Ocelot Pride, and only now my opponent goes for a Bowmaster. They should have done this sooner. Now I'm getting the Ocelot Pride trigger from the second Ocelot Pride. This is potentially very meaningful for my Winota, getting a token like this. Okay, I have both of my basics, and I'm now completely free of Harbinger, and I have Static Prison, I have Galvanic Discharges, I have Flages, plenty of ways to take care of their stuff. Okay, so here I go. I can go for token and attack with Ocelot Pride here. It's a bit risky to go for a Bowmaster, but I really want to cast my Seasoned Pyromancer next turn, so I think it's really good to go like this. I attack with Ocelot Pride and token. If opponent trades for Cat token, that's fine. I'm getting another one, going in for 1 damage with lifelink and passing the turn. Okay, so opponent end turn cracks the spell bomb, plays the psychic frog, and that's it. Okay, so now I can go for a Johnny, but I think it's better to go for Seasoned Pyromancer and prepare next turn for Winota. I also had to discard one of the Winotas and play my second Ocelot Pride. So a lot of creatures that can trigger a Winota next turn. If my opponent by any chance taps out, then Winota in this situation is like super game over. Okay, so let's see what happens. Opponent goes for attack, tries to find something to but they only play Bowmaster, so they tap out, and I even get another Winota here. So now let's see if they have Subtlety. If they don't have Subtlety, it's basically game over. And yeah, I go for attack and I get 4 Winota triggers. Okay, so let's see. First I go for Guide of Souls. I go for a Guide of Souls first, that is good. Then Voice of Victory, and then a second God of Souls. It's so sweet that God of Souls is a 1 mana card, but it's such a strong piece in this deck that it's incredible find with Vinota on attacks like this, and having these cheap creatures, getting those cheap creatures from triggering Vinota is such a big value, and you don't have to play anything big mana to make your Vinota good, like a God of Souls and Spyros and the Rangers are all so powerful that it just doesn't matter. Okay, so what I wanted to say before, Hammer Time and Dimir Frog are the only two I have recorded with this deck. I just completely forgot to record the other 3 matches. And unfortunately, that will be it for this video. Last 2 videos I had 4 matches in them. I mostly, if I go for full 5 matches, I usually just kick the longest match, and or the match where I do something bad or some weird mistake that affects the gameplay a lot, and keep the normal ones, and that's it. Okay, so that's all for today. Only 2 matches in this video, but I think that's enough. You could see Vinota working great, and Energy is already such a strong deck, and when you play it with Vinota, Vinota often feels like the best card in a deck. So I think it is not hard to imagine how good Vinota can be here, and the question is it better than the regular Energy? I think the answer to that question is not as clear as it was before Voice of Victory. Before Voice of Victory, there kind of was missing another human. There was nothing good to play. You had to splash a color or whatever. But now with Voice of Victory, I would like to have 4 of them, by the way. And with untapping with Voice of Victory with Vinota in hand always seemed so strong. And I always felt like really had a good feeling about it. We didn't see it here, but it happened plenty of times to me. And I feel like a Voice of Victory in this shell is really worth considering Vinota in the Energy deck, and possibly one day, if not with Voice of Victory, maybe Voice of Victory is enough, but when one good human comes into this archetype, possibly some big mana human or some good 2-3 drop, Vinota could be better way to play Energy. Maybe now, maybe it already is, maybe it will be in the future, but I think you have to remember thinking about Vinota when thinking about Boros Energy with so many good human payouts at the moment. God of Souls, a human, Voice of Victory, human, Ranger Captain of Eos, human, Seasoned Pyromancer, human, Vinota Joiner of Forces, human as well. We have some human options for the sideboard as well. I don't think any of them are very good at the moment, but there are definitely some worth considering. We have stuff like Avalanche Riders. I think Charmau is slightly better at the moment. There is Dranit Magistrate, which worked great against the Storm. So maybe Dranit would be better option than the Damping Spheres, since we already have so much. Yeah, I think Dranit would maybe be better option. So Dranit instead of the Damping Spheres, maybe a better option. Ethersword Canonist, which you saw there, but I don't think it's good right now against Storm. They mostly play Pyroclasm, and it just dies as an accidental casualty. So other options, I think there are some good lock pieces against some combo decks as well. I forgot to include the new Clarion Conqueror in the sideboard. Maybe that would be good. But yeah, okay, that's it. That's all for today. Hope you liked the gameplay, hope you liked the video, even if it had only those 2 matches in. A friendly reminder to click like, click subscribe, comment down below. Tell me, how do you feel about Vinota version of this energy, the basic Energy deck? And do you like it more with Vinota, without Vinota? Would you splash a color? For what, if you would? And there are a lot of questions, and I think Vinota is definitely card to consider in such a strong deck like this one. If not at the moment, you know, like metagame shifts happen a lot in modern, and something could happen that makes a Winota version much better than the regular version, so you need to keep this one in mind. Okay, that's all for today, and goodbye.